Well, a large part of the work with this kind of equipment is to service it constantly and keep it in perfect condition. That means that it needs to be carefully cleaned after each use and have to be lubricated properly. So my first step is to pick up what are called these chips. Get them off the table and off the unit. And I've already kind of brushed them off the unit. Take and put these into a trash can. I don't know if you can see this, I'm just brushing them into a trash can. And I come here. Okay, next step in the cleaning process is to wipe down what are called the ways, W-A-Y-S, which are the way that this mechanism here can be controlled on these metal slide things here. So just kind of wipe everything, make sure the chips are off. This is a very sharp tool, so you really don't want to hit them with your hand by mistake. So you get your unit kind of clean like this. The belt is released, and I come here with my oil. Run this way. I'd say it's a fairly involved process, you know, for someone to get into doing this. I think you have to, my thought would be you got to like machines, you got to be patient, and of course, you know, these are my inventions, so you got to invent something too to make it. I'm going to bring it here. So now it's running on fresh oil. The whole thing's running on oil, not metal to metal. And this guy needs it too. So we get him nice and wet, him nice and wet. Now we get in and hit all the internal lubrication parts like that. It just kind of dribbles out when it's full. I've got this and this. This one tends to need it. Sometimes that does. But I do them all just to make sure, of course. And here, this one gets here, this guy gets here. Make sure everybody got it. Okay. Now, the machine is now ready for the next cut. And just to keep the machine in. Oh, I did want to hit this too. There's a cross slide here. So hitting it with oil. It's very important this run on oil. Come in here. Fresh oil on this guy here. And bring it back out. So everything's running on oil. Oil for him too. Anything that cutting control surface is fully lubricated. I don't use the screw because that's an automatic feature. So you know, this moves back and forth, this moves in and out, and this gives me the angle of the cut. And this of course is the tailstock, and it'll lock the piece in, or in this case drill out a hole for me, which is what I want. And so we take this nice thing here first. Two-step cover like that, and then we come here and we go with this cover for the whole thing. Now the most important part of the job, in my opinion at this point, is to make sure my dog never gets injured with chips. And so I'll do a very, very careful cleaning of the floor, because these chips, if they were to get inside her little feet, she might get hurt. And so I have to be very, very careful. And cleaning very carefully all the time. Make sure I get any little thing that might get into little boo-boo's feet. And they'll go a long way. They go all the way up to here. They walk around. No, they don't walk around, but they move, they do go a lot of places. farther than you might think, like all the way up to here, but hard sometimes. Not like this. And then you're here, clean, 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 with this and this and this and this, this and this, and here's this. That was cleaning number one. I'm going to set the main ones. But, as with any job, I might have missed something. So now, I'm going to switch gears and go into two, cleaning number two, the big one. Just to be safe, maybe I didn't see something. Maybe I missed something. So I always want to take the time. And I did miss one. See a little teeny piece there. Right into there. This goes into there. One more time. Take my feet. I remember the guy that showed me how to use this stuff who had been a professional. Kept his machine filthy, dirty. No, it just wasn't kept up. I couldn't believe it. I was so surprised because he was a very competent machinist. But his machine was not in working order. This one isn't new. It's almost 1947. About 75 years. 75-year-old system, but it's in real good shape. Paint will go inside. It has to be at the correct temperature to get on there the right way. This goes here. Sandpapers go back to here. This goes in the trash. Do not use sandpapers twice. All these customizations, you use up parts and like leather gloves on the sliders, they just wear out. I can get one or two sliders out of a pair of leather gloves. That goes here. This goes here. What else needs to be cleaned up? This bicycle tools. I was working on my bike. This is a respirator. We need that today, only with the slider. Here's my bike pump. This is a piece of trash. This is going in. These are my keys. Another piece of stuff for the trash and my tape. All these things go in. It goes here. I may reuse that to ship to India. I may not. Okay, I'm going to go here, here, and that's in the trash. The gloves go into here. The safety jacket comes off. So, anyhow, that's the process. And the last thing to come off are my safety glasses. They always have to be worn. So you can see that is the process for making an ergo button. I think it's rather extensive, is my opinion, but I'm real happy with the results on the harmonicas. The ergo button sticks out a little further than the stock button, and it's comfortable to your hand at all angles of attack. And I find it much more comfortable to play. People who have them like them. And I never had anybody that didn't like them. But the process, as you can see, was shaping, getting the finish on the outside of the metal, cutting it off, block sanding it with stones to get that connector piece where it connected to the aluminum stock smoothed out, put on the final finish, paint, and the last part's going to be epoxying it with metal epoxy, and I'll show you that too, because knowing how to do that properly is really good. A guy sent me a message the other day that he used wind saber glue to try and put a button on, and it came right off, and that glue is nowhere near what's needed to hold a button on. You got to use metal epoxy. You can still get them off, if you need to. Anyway, that's the scoop so far.